right, Tom. This will be easy for you because you obviously listen to my other podcast and you know the opening for it. So,
No, I don't.
One, one, two, three.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Today, we are going to be busting some cruise myths. So, without further ado, please welcome your host, Trevor Shelby, Gary Manning, and Thomas Kennedy.
woo!
Hello, everybody.
Man, how are you guys doing? That is the sad music that I had for y'all. So,
Oh,
You know,
it gave me my DJ voice back, you know.
there you go.
cheers to y'all.
There you go. So,
Everybody, it's a couple skate. Oh, yeah. Grab yourself a girl and take her on the. Not much.
sure. So we're skating.
Ring DJ.
Oh,
Skating ring
okay.
DJ, you know.
Hey,
Okay.
man.
This is an all
There you
skate.
go.
All skate. Everyone out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, how you doing?
How you doing?
So, all right. So, since we're talking about skating, my first couple of experiences at a skating rink, I was not aware whenever the DJ would say, "All right, this is a song for everybody 8 and up." Well, I didn't know that he was talking about shoe size,
Oh,
skate size. I
That's
thought he
funny.
was talking about
about
age.
age?
So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I go out, right? And next thing you know, like all of these other like people are like skating and like all the little kids are still over in the side. And I'm like, oh, whoops, I'm not supposed to be out here. I kept skating anyway.
Yeah.
There was a comedian who who the only thing I ever saw that he did was this act about whenever he was a kid, you know, at the skating rink and how, you know, he had to get everyone was walking in with those speed skates, you know, the guys with the black speed skates and the girls with the white ones, and he had the ticket to get the house skates. And he couldn't skate, you know. And then there was this one guy named Tony. And everyone knew Tony. And he was the best skater out there because he was 30.
That's funny. Well, I guess everybody has a skating story. So, okay, I was a kid. There's a skating rink not too far from my house growing up. Used to go out there the summertime, and it was open all day. I used to just go out there and pay a couple dollars, get in. I had rollerblades. I was really good on rollerblades. I'm telling you, like I could go downstairs and like do tricks and stuff. I was really good at it. Okay.
When you went downstairs, did you end up rolling a little bit and then getting back on your
Okay.
skates?
Okay, so like
Handrails.
I could
Handrails.
I could jump down like large sets of stairs and do all kinds of stuff. And I would land on the skates correctly. I was really good. And it sounds all like BS. This is not two truths and a lie. But I was really good. I was a good like rollerblader. If I put me on regular roller skates, I was trash. But anyways, so I'm at the skating rink and there's a girl about my age that's there and I'm skating and I'm kind of like showing off a little bit. I'm like, oh, we'll do a little backwards action here. And I was like, oh, we're going to go forwards. Oh, well, look at me, you know? And yeah, so I'm having a great time. And it's like there's 4 people there because it's like 10 a.m. at the skating rink. Okay. So, so I'm just like, whatever. So, like, there's 4 people and the DJ calls couple skate and it's like, you know what, we're all gonna pair off or something, I guess. All, you know, two couples. So this girl who I've been eyeing the whole time I've been there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I sat down. I just sat down because I didn't have a couple. And she rollers up to me and she like, hey, you want to go roller skate? And it threw me off so much. I go, no. And when she like left the building, I felt so bad. I felt so bad.
Wow.
You got no. Come on, please, please.
I mean,
Was
like,
she
not
ever?
even,
Was she ever there again? Whenever you went back?
I don't remember at all. I don't remember seeing her ever again. She probably never came back to the rolling rink. But I mean, like, it was like the froggiest. You want to go skate?
Well,
I was like, oh my
Miss,
god.
Miss Missy, whatever your name is, if for somehow, at some reason, you hear this, Trevor owes you a couple skate.
And we'll
Yeah,
make sure that he takes you on a couple skate.
yeah. So there you go. I just have to find rollerblades, I guess. So,
No, you use the house skates.
oh
Yeah,
god, I'd be on
dude,
the
how
floor.
honest, honest. Okay, pause everything. How awesome of a Hallmark movie would that really be? I mean, we just came up with the whole entire
Yeah.
plot for your next book, Trevor. I mean,
Hmm.
Yeah,
that's like
there you go.
you're doing a romance. You're doing a
Yeah.
romance book for your next one,
Yeah.
and that's the
You
plot.
rejected me in sixth grade.
Yeah. I my character would have to be the local woodworker, and she could be the school teacher
It's
that moved out of town that's
the
moving back
librarian.
into town. Oh, the
The
No,
librarian.
librarian.
it's always
Yeah.
a rich woman and a blue collar dude.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you could
At
say
least
that.
the Christmas ones are, because my mother
Yeah.
makes me sit through all sorts of Hallmark
Yeah.
Christmas movies.
yep.
There you
All
go.
right. Well, guys, in case if this is your first time listening to us, we are actually right here at the Carnival Cruising Podcastaways, and we talk about carnival cruising, not just skating. So, as we go on, so Trevor, why don't you pick up where I just left and talk about
Yeah.
what we've done for the last 362 episodes?
Yeah, let's bring up that there should be roller rinks on Carnival Cruise. No, I'm kidding. Let's do two truths and a lie. And it's, what do you say, 300 and something episodes?
No, he said
At least
750. That's good.
752 episodes. That's right. I was back a few. So
Mhm.
we've done it every day. And so, the way this works is go over to our Facebook page. You're gonna listen with your earbuds and you're going to hear the two truths and a lie. I'm going to tell the truth, Tom's going to tell the truth, and Gary's going to lie. And then
Okay.
what's going to happen is that you're going to go on and vote, okay? And the votes sometimes go sideways in the ways you never expect.
Yeah, like
And
I don't know how Trevor won last week when he wasn't even on the show.
so
No, he did not. He didn't win. He didn't win. I'm
Oh, he
looking
Okay.
at the
didn't?
results right now. No, he did
Oh,
not.
okay.
Okay.
I thought last I saw he
He
was the
was
set.
he was winning, yes.
Okay.
But there is an influx of
Oh my
people,
god. Yeah.
and
That's
41% of the vote went to Tom.
Ah.
ooh. It
Now I
didn't.
will say, yes, I was lying through a part of it. I did actually write in high school a version or arrange a version of "Baby's Got Back" for our basketball pep band, but we're not playing it in our community band. That sheet music no longer exists.
Well, so like I said, I'm going to tell my truth, and well, let me tell you. So, you know, I have my birthday coming up, and this has been a theme going on for a while now. So, I have decided finally what my birthday weekend activities is going to be, because you know what I did? I requested for Friday and Monday off in preparation for this. So I got to do something. So I was going to go to family reunion, but I don't like them that much. And then I was going to go to I was going to go, maybe travel some, but I actually think I'm going to Austin at the end of the month, and so I'm going to save traveling. And so I think there's the Skirvin Hotel downtown. I'm going to get one night at the Skirvin Hotel, and it's haunted. So I'm going to do some ghost hunting, and I'm going to find a ghost, and then I'm going to interview the ghost and maybe put it on the podcast. Just so if you're listening, because this episode comes out on my birthday, if you're listening and you hear a ghost at any point in this episode, it's because I found one. Anyways, Mr. Kennedy.
Wow. Okay. Let's see here. What can I tell the truth about or lie about? That's the
No,
question.
it's just truth. I'm gonna lie this week.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not coming out. So this week, for the fourth time since I moved into this apartment, my air conditioner has went out.
Oh.
And it always goes out on a Saturday. And, so I sat there Saturday and Sunday and half of Monday with no AC. I don't notice that it's out until I start eating my dinner. I'm like sweating and the air conditioner's running. And then I go and look at 77 degrees in my apartment, and they come on Monday to fix it. I'm talking to the maintenance dude. He's like, you could have just called the emergency line. And I said, there's an emergency line? I just been requesting maintenance through the app, and apparently there's an emergency maintenance line that I was never notified of. And I could have had my air conditioner fixed Saturday.
Wow.
It's heartbreaking, Tom.
I sweated my.
Yes.
Yeah,
you sure did.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I am so sorry, Tom. I mean, really, that's very rough to hear.
Yeah,
So I'm
especially being
gonna
a fat man.
I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit and let you know that you guys know we've talked about it several times. I travel everywhere. I've been traveling this week without my wife Teresa. She's at the house, and so last night I stayed in Shelby, North Carolina, and I made my way down over to Charlotte this morning, and now I'm down in Shelby, North Carolina, and then I'm in Greenville, South Carolina right now. But this morning, as I was riding in my truck, whenever Teresa's with me, I don't have my CB on. She just doesn't like it. But I put the CB on this morning, and we are coming onto the interstate, and we were kind of climbing a hill. And all of a sudden, this trucker pulls over in front of another trucker, and he slows them down while they're going up the hill. Because I mean, he was he had a pretty decent little truck. He was ready to roll. And dude, I'm not gonna kid you. This trucker comes on, the one that he pulled over, the one that pulled over in front of the guy. And he goes, "Trucker, if you don't get your nose out of my ass," he says, "I don't know what I'm gonna do." He says, "Your nose is so far up my ass, you can smell my breath."
Wow.
I just busted out laughing. And so I immediately sent the text to my stepdad. He's a driver as well. He replied he'd never heard that one before, and so I thought it was funny. But
That is funny.
yeah, I
It is
thought
real funny.
I thought for sure I was going to have a fight there though, because it's like, and that front guy just could not get up that hill, and the back guy, I won't tell you what all he said because that's not really appropriate for air. But it was just something else to listen to. Let me tell you what, it was funny.
That's too funny. So this week we talked about doing a Mythbusters type episode where we're going to be busting some common and not so common cruise myths. I did something, guys. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now. I made a decision, and Madison got plugged back in. Just so y'all know. And
all right,
we read Madison's comments, and we know that she is still for some reason pissed off at Gary.
Yeah. So I asked Madison, and what's funny is Madison really wanted to be a part of today's episode. I wanted it to be a little different, and Madison would not cooperate. So like, this is honest to truth. I cannot put what Madison put, because she basically busts the myth every time, and she does it in like ridiculous ways. And so it's like,
So
yeah.
we'll bust
Anyways,
it our
we'll get
way,
there.
and then we'll let her bust it in the end.
Yeah. So I have basically the myths and some things kind of put together, a list, and we will go over them one by one. We'll talk about them, and if you all would like to put your 2 cents in on any of these myths, go to our SpeakPipe page, tell us what myth it is, and give us your 2 cents. Did we get it right or did we get it wrong? Do you think that it's completely different? What is your experience? Because everyone has a different experience on a Carnival cruise, and so you might have a different perception. So let us know. So the first one, and this one I think is, we may have some funny answers for, is cruising is only for retirees.
Now let us be clear here.
Mm-hmm.
You, Trevor, are the only one that has heard these or read these myths.
I have,
Tom and I have not.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, but I've done no preparation as in coming up with anything. I haven't. Yeah. I'm the only thing I've done is argue with Madison because I didn't want her to give a damn answer. So, but Madison did say people think cruising is just for old people. You know, it's all bingo, shuffleboard, no fun for the youngsters. So, what do you guys have to say about that?
Well, I mean, on Carnival, that's a load of crop because they're. I mean, they do have a kids thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, there are a few older people on there, but I think the demographic is around, around family age, 25 to 40.
Yeah.
So,
And I will say I've kind of experienced it both ways now, because my last cruise was, I was on the younger end of the demographic, and it was kind of a different experience. So it may also depend upon what ships you're cruising. And
yeah, in
so I
what
think,
area?
yeah. But I will say I read a study, or an article about a study that was all about how the baby boomers, is a huge part of the cruising people right now, but also millennials are becoming the new big cruisers,
And you
and in
skip Gen
mass.
X.
Well, yeah, because they weren't mentioned in the article. It was millennial, but it's all millennials. Like a huge swath of them are being represented on cruises. You see a lot of it going on, and it's kind of a big deal. I'm on the older end of the millennial scale, and so this is I agree with it, because I see a lot of people within my age younger, and so that's in there. So
All right. So my take on this. If you listened to any episode like 4 or 5 episodes ago, or if we count how we counting 40 or 50 episodes ago, we had a person who wrote John Heald who was in their 20s
Hmm.
and
mm-hmm.
said that they are tired of 30-year-old and 40-year-olds being on the ship. Then they wanted their own ship for their only
Yeah,
just 20-year-olds. So that in itself debunks the saying or this thought that cruising is only for retirees.
right.
Yeah.
There's just now 80s, late 70s, early 80s, even probably into the late 80s, I could see that. There was quite a few because cruising was a little bit more expensive at that time, and
Yeah,
and plus I don't know all really that well how many 3 or 4 day cruises there were. There might have still been weekend cruises, but it's like you said, if you take a 14-day cruise out of Alaska the second or third week of April,
Mm-hmm.
yes, your age, your demographic is going to probably be somewhere in that late 50s, early 60s, 70s range. You take a 3-day cruise out of Miami on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, your average age is going to be 25.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, and I can attest to that. I mean, our cruise that we took on the Freedom, right? The Freedom or the Liberty, I get them too mixed up. But the one that we took on the Freedom was a 3-day cruise on a extended weekend. And once again, the age of the cruise ship was just super, super low. And it was a whole bunch of singles just cruising
Mm-hmm.
on their own, just going down to Bahamas and then coming back for the day. And it was a party cruise. That's
Yeah.
all it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. I have a friend that absolutely does not want to go on a cruise because she experienced that. It said that exact thing. She wanted a nice, relaxing, fun cruise, and she chose like a 3 or 4 day cruise out of Miami.
They don't call them booze cruise for nothing. I
Yeah.
mean,
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
something I don't know that we've ever really covered on our show. I
I'm
don't
not
know that
really.
I don't think, so this is kind of a breaking news kind of thing. If you
Mm-hmm.
want that party cruise, yeah, if you want to have unlimited fun and hookups abound, hookups galore or whatever, then there's a good opportunity for that to happen on the 3-day Friday to
Mm-hmm.
Monday cruises that happen out of Miami and Port Canaveral. It's just
Now,
that's just the way it is.
what am I hooking up? Like the TV, my phone,
Your ceiling fan, the ceiling
the
fan.
ceiling fan. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm not supposed to have that.
That's when the room steward will actually come in your room and hook your ceiling fan up for you.
Stop, guys! You're gonna get me banned.
it's the PS5 and your MetaQuest. All
Oh,
right,
okay, very good.
that's
Yeah,
what you're connecting.
I bet you could get the MetaQuest on there pretty easy. So,
Probably because you don't need to hook that to a TV.
yeah. So, are we ready for myth number 2?
So
Sure.
what was Madison's debunk? Was
Oh,
what you read?
well,
Was that
okay.
Madison's?
So Madison, I read the first part. So Madison did say families, or she actually said Carnival cruises are designed for all ages, families, couples, solo travelers, and groups of friends that all have a blast on these ships. There are water slides, zip lines, not kind of nightclubs, even Broadway style shows. There's something for someone young and old. So there you go.
I mean,
Um,
this is true. I mean,
mhm.
I don't know that the Bolt roller coaster. I mean, you might be able to be 70, 80 years old and get on the Bolt and be, I mean, there's no age limit to the Bolt,
There's really
but
not,
it's
but
gonna be a
On my cruise on the Jubilee, there was a 70-year-old woman who did the roller coaster, the Bolt.
yeah, but the Bolt's not. I mean, like it's fast and it's fun, but
Yeah,
it's not like
it's
some
not
of
like
the
Cedar Point Millennium Force or anything like
yeah,
that.
something
but
crazy.
you get on that full throttle with the boost at that one
Mhm.
spot, you can I mean, it's
Yeah,
tough to
you
hold on
feel
from
it.
what I hear.
Yeah, you feel it.
It is. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, that's where I screamed like a little girl in the video that
yeah.
Trevor
You
brought
sound
up
like
the other day.
R2D2. So
That sounded like a
so
cat.
yeah, whatever. Okay, so myth number 2, and this one is a hot topic. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there.
That's a
The
story
This
in the
is a story in
food.
the mall. Oh God, we do think alike. Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, the food on Carnival Cruises is bland and not good. And Madison says further, people often say the food on Carnival Cruises is not good. It's a huge. Oh, sorry. So she was
She's about to debunk
she's
it
about to
there.
answer. So okay. This is kind of a something that we've touched on a tiny bit, not a whole lot, but I do think there are hits and there
Mhm,
are misses on
mhm.
Carnival Cruises. And sometimes your last cruise, that hit is a miss on your next cruise.
Mhm.
And so it
Yes.
like the things that stay steady and the same are like the guy's burgers, your pizza, burritos. Those things all kind of stay the same for me.
Yeah.
But it's when you're ordering from like the main dining room, I feel like sometimes you're rolling the dice. What do you guys think?
Gary, you go first this time.
All right. Well, so for me, I've cruised MSC, I've cruised Royal, and I've cruised Carnival. Out of those three ships, I'm going to have to say Carnival has the best food out of those three. Now, part of that is on Royal when I cruised that was 2001. So, I mean, we're talking 23 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably it just, not really anything that I can say or do about that. I can't really remember it, and I can't compare it to today, obviously. But on the MSC that I was on in 2021, and MSC is pretty much knocked because they have bad food. Even though it's an Italian ship, you'd think that they would at least do Italian right. But anyways,
Yeah.
I digress. Carnival has the best. Now, as you said, it can be hit or miss. It can be per ship, it could be per day. I will say this much. The best, absolutely best non-veg Indian food I've ever had was on a Carnival ship, and it is consistently good. Now, you have to handle it right. You have to go into, the MDR, that night, and you eat off of the menu that night, or you order the non-veg Indian, and then you tell your server, hey, tomorrow night, can I have a non-veg Indian? And if you have a server that's typically they'll say sure, and they'll be able to get you non-veg Indian, but you have to give them a night's warning. I promise you, if you're a vegetarian or if you're an Indian fan, it's a must. It's just absolutely the best Indian food. Steakhouse depends upon the ship. Cucina del Capitano, it depends upon the time. Gigi's has always been delicious for me. I can continue through every one of them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to,
Yeah.
but overall said and done, it's a half and half. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, there are things, just like you said, per ship, per day, per cook,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And sometimes it's the demographic too, like the who the cruiser is, because if you cruise out of Louisiana, you've got like every other person has hot sauce that they're bringing out. And I
Hmm.
mean, they're just
But that
dumping it.
hot sauce isn't going to help that chicken that's made by a northerner.
I'm
It's
just
not even a
saying.
northerner that makes the
Yeah.
chicken.
Well,
Yeah.
But I
true.
will say this too. I will say this as well. You talk to, I mean, Josh and Amanda have been on this show. They're great friends of mine. I will be at their house in just a few weeks, but they will tell you Emerald's on the ship is not Louisiana food, even
Yeah.
though they claim it as being a,
Well,
quote
what did they
unquote
have? Because
Louisiana.
I had a couple things from Emerald's that did
Hmm.
remind me of like the Natchitoches meat pies. I mean that was close, not necessarily the same.
That's the
See,
You
thing
know,
though.
that
Yeah.
that's where it's at. See, that's the thing. Their beignets, they say beignets are trash. They don't compare anything to Cafe Du Monde or even Cafe Beignet. The shrimp etouffee they say is not anything that close to a shrimp etouffee. Even though for me, that's somebody who's not you know
Right.
in the Bayou or Cajun or any of that kind of stuff. I enjoy it.
Hmm.
But so that's the thing. It's all subjective to you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So here's my take on it. Okay, so like it is hit or miss. The fried chicken, no flavor. The you go to chicken the fish shack, their fish and chips, no flavor, but you get their lobster roll and it's delicious. It just depends on what you get. I it's it is and what your tastes are because they're trying to, no matter what, they're making this in bulk, so the seasoning is going to be unless they have some magical way of making of getting that seasoning all the way through, it's not going to get all the way through. So you're going to get
Well,
something different
yeah,
every time almost. Um,
that's definitely true for the MDR. But like
yeah,
if you're on the seafood shack, I mean that's made right there. I mean,
true.
uh,
But they took this they took something out that was that was a hit every time to put that seafood shack in, and because
you're just holding grudges now.
I am really.
Do
That
tell. I'm not familiar. What do you think they took out to put in the seafood shack?
in the on the Magic and the Breeze before they went into dry dock when they first came out, they had a tandoori grill on the back where the seafood shack is now.
Okay, okay. But it's still on the Dream then.
I don't know if it was on the Dream in the first place. I haven't been on the Dream, so
Dream or Breeze? Which one is it that because Teresa told me about that. She said that the tandoori grill or wok or something like that that's in she said it's fantastic. And it was on the ship that her and they went on for Mau Wau's birthday 2 years ago.
I don't know what ship they were on.
I'm gonna have to text her. I'll text her while we're going.
But but it was on the Magic and it was on the Breeze. But I
All
don't know if
right.
it was on the Dream or not. So,
Well,
but it had the best chicken tikka masala. I mean, come on. And they had lamb masala too, which is
so are we ready for myth number 3?
well.
Yay.
What did Madison have to say about that one?
Oh, the Madison says that is a huge misconception. Carnival offers a wide variety of high quality dining options from Guy's Burger Joint, Shack's Big Chicken to upscale options like Bonsai Sushi and Specialty Steakhouse. There's culinary delight for every palate. The food on Carnival Cruises is everything but, or is anything but bland. And I'm going to say this right now, pretty impressive that Madison was able to. I'm not even kidding. Madison pulled all that information. She named the restaurants herself. I am working up a Madison 10.0 here soon that is going to promote the podcast on Chat GPT. And so if you ever have questions that you need answered right away, she can throw some at you. Not guaranteed to be always correct, but she's got some good points here or there.
And just know
So
if we disappear, it's Madison.
yep.
So I
Uh,
will say too. I mean, obviously we have to remember. I mean, AI does have a quote unquote ability to think on its own. However, it just spawned. It just goes all over the whole entire internet
mhm.
and just looks for phrases and looks for things and is able to do it rather quickly to pick up all that stuff. And that's where her information comes from.
Yeah.
That's why she wanted to call my curry a soup the other day.
Yeah. So she did actually. That's really funny to me. Okay. Myth number 3 is something we've already touched on just a teeny tiny bit. It is the Carnival Cruises are just giant party boats. I mean,
I mean,
is where the fun is.
yeah, and they do like to throw parties. I
Yeah.
mean,
Uh, now I will say that I I had a different experience on the Carnival celebration than Megan had. Megan wasn't going to the ultimate deck party. Megan didn't go to the white party. Megan didn't go to the 80s parties. And I was at the parties having a blast. And it was a party fun time for me with my
We were at the
friends.
80s party together. We have proof
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, we do. If it wasn't copywritten music, I've tried to like put on fake music and just make it as cool, and it's not. So, but there is like you can be on a ship, especially if it's like a 7-day cruise or an 8-day cruise. You can be on a longer, like a week long cruise, and and it be people having their parties and you could be playing your bingo. So I mean you can, there's the best of both worlds there, so in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, they have a lot of parties. They do have a lot of dancing and stuff on the Lido deck. I mean, but then again, they also have trivia. They got, they have, these games that you can win these stupid ships on a stick and freaking medallions and yeah, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, in some aspects, yes, in some aspects, no. So I'm going to say that's plausible.
Sorry, I get. I'm sorry, Tom. You're you're what's the word I'm trying to think of?
I'm repeating
You're
myself.
no, your upsettedness, whatever your dismay or your absolute disgust of never getting a ship on a stick. It just cracks me up every time. I mean, I'm so sorry, but yeah, I literally have tears
I've
in my
given
eyes.
up on winning, on trying to win one.
All right, well, I'll send you a glory. I have two from the glory.
Ship on a stick. I don't want one
I'll,
anymore.
how about if I get Kendall to sign the one that I'm going to win on the Jubilee
There you
and give
go.
it to you? Will you take that one?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, he'll take it. He'll take it.
All right, I'm gonna work my best. I'm gonna work my magic on that then for sure. I am definitely. I will do everything in my possibility, everything that I have possible to do that for you, Tom. All right. So, anyways, moving back to it. So, as we said, yes, if you're on that 3-day cruise, that weekend cruise, that's just down to one destination and back. It's got a sea day at the end. Yeah, you're going to be pretty much just balls to the wall, drinking drink package, just 15 drinks a day, borrowing your friend's drink package to finish their 15 drinks a day off, whatever the case may be. And
Yeah.
it's going to be ugly. It's going to be nasty. Probably, I'm not positive, but I would imagine that a lot of these, we haven't seen them recently. However, back last year, there were a lot of videos of fights and just disruptions and things like
Hmm.
that were happening on ships. And I would venture to say that those were probably 3 and 4 day cruises. That's just me. That's just my view from being out here. But I will say that even on a 7 day cruise, on an 8 day cruise, you're going to have at least 3, if not 4 of those days are going to be a mega deck party. You're going to have an 80s night. You're going to have a silent disco. You're going to have a white hot night, and you're going to probably have a Motown night. Those are the 4 common. And if you're not familiar with John
Hmm.
Heald, which all of our listeners pretty much are, he just actually had that on his Facebook group and his page, where he wanted everybody to rank those parties in their order of their favorite to least favorite. And there was a couple extras that were actually even in there as well. But what I
Yeah.
say is, it's not a party every night. There's not a deck party every night. Okay. Formal night, there's no deck party. So that's typically the first or second sea day, depending upon your
Depending
cruise.
on, yeah.
Yeah. And so there's not really, there's might be a white night in there, but anyways, I'll back up off of that. I'll retract that statement because there very could be well be just depending upon the length of the cruise. However, I do say this: you are not required to go to the Lido deck to the party.
Yeah,
Right.
You can go to the casino. You can go to a playlist production because they're still going on most of the time.
yeah,
Whenever up until the deck parties start at say 10 o'clock, but the playlist production stuff's still going on till right before that. They typically end and then roll over into the deck party.
They'll have
But
comedy shows.
yeah, there's comedy, always comedy into the late hours, of the
Hmm.
night. So, and then guess what? There's also this place called your cabin.
and if you're on the XL ships, and you're just wanting to go up on the Lido for food, you don't even have to step foot on the Lido deck anymore for late night food because there's no late night food on the XL ships. On the Lido deck, you have to go down to 8. So
To guys anchor, to guys burgers. Yeah, pig and anchor,
and
pig and anchor.
and,
Yeah.
and the pizza joints, yeah.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The
yeah,
yeah.
that's it though. That's for me. I mean, I am that deck party guy. I am a club person. I want to be in the club at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, Just all depends, honestly, on the vibe of the ship. I'm not going to lie about that. But that's the thing, though. It just there is the party there if you want it, but it's not required. That's
Yeah.
my take on it.
So Madison does say, she says, while Carnival is known for its fun atmosphere, it's not all about partying. There are plenty of quiet spots and relaxing activities like spa treatments, the Serenity Deck, and says serene loungers, which make a great mix of party and relaxation. So she was throwing
Serene
some
loungers and Serenity Deck loungers, those
yeah,
clamshells, maybe.
yeah. That's what I'm imagining. But it is what it is.
Chicka wah wop,
So
chicka wah wop,
yeah,
chicka wah wop.
that happens way too often in those. It's harder to do, I think, in the Excel class ships because they don't have the full clamshell, which I love. So so myth number 4 is this one. I think we can talk pretty quick on. You cannot stay connected to the outside world.
Ha.
So
That's
That,
true.
that's
True.
busted.
yeah,
No,
flat
that's true.
busted.
No,
You
it's
can
true.
what?
It's true.
Okay,
If,
explain the truth.
if you so desire, you can take your phone, you can turn it off, and you can put it in your safe.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Okay, you can leave it in that safe.
But they're saying that you
There-
you are there's
there's
no
no
way
ability
no
to do
ability
it.
to contact the outside world.
If you wanted to, you couldn't do it. Even before like when they charged like per like minute on the freaking data on the for data on the internet
Hmm.
and everything, even when they did that, like I made phone calls from my cabin to my house to talk
Exactly.
to my kids on because on my first free cruises, I was a mean dad and I went without my kids. And so I made very expensive phone calls. And so, and Megan took a test once on the like the per second plan thing. And it was really funny because we she would load it was online. She would load the page up of the test and she would turn the internet off and she'd answer all the questions and then she'd turn the internet back on and then load like submit the answers and then turn the internet back off. It was really funny. A tip if you're on a cruise that's set up that way. But there wouldn't be a Carnival one. But there are ways you can reach out to the outside world. I mean, some of it costs money,
Right.
but
But the thing
Yeah.
is, too, though, okay, you leave whenever you book, you give Carnival, your name, they have it, and you can give all of your people who may need to get in contact with you, your emergency contacts or whatever you want to do or say. And if something happens to you while you're on the ship, Carnival can call your emergency contacts. But
mhm,
also, your person can call Carnival corporate down in Miami, and Miami then can reach out to the ship and get a message to you through that way. So, no, you are not cut off, so to speak, from the outside world. No. Now, if you do so elect to go off the grid while you're on your cruise, that is possible.
See, and it all depends also because like if you have your time dining, you can't do that because you can't check in without the app.
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
So because
You
yeah,
you can and you can't because if you're wanting to go to like if you have your time dining and you want to go check into your time dining and you could just go up and just let them know I'm here.
Or
I
the
don't have
maitre
my
d.
phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they boop boop tables this way. So yeah, and then they'll get you menus. So
Yeah.
but the Madison's response to this was Carnival offers various internet packages to keep you connected. You can stay in touch with friends and family. Check out your email. Share your cruise moments on social media. So staying connected is completely possible. So there you go. Thank you, Madison. And this one, number 5. This one, I had a couple to choose from, and I've kind of skipped a couple, so I cheated on this one because I kind of like this one, this myth, and so because
What
I
was
see
in
a lot
that
of
beer,
people,
Gary?
yeah, it was something. He put some stuff in it. Oh no.
But nobody knows this. If y'all wouldn't say anything, it's only those people watching on Spotify.
Oh,
It's
my
number
mom would
5.
know.
Number
Um,
5.
so number 5 is you have to eat every meal with strangers. So, I mean, like, I have had to do that,
So have I.
and yeah, and it was kind of funny because it was a I'm trying to think of what it was, the free cruise Megan and I had received in that little cruise lottery thing.
Yeah.
And so we got this free cruise, and nobody else we knew was going on with us. And when we showed up to main dining, like they sat us at a table with another couple, and it was awkward. And at first, and so it was kind of funny because you could really tell they didn't want to sit with somebody else, and we were kind of like surprised about it. And so when we sat down, we got to talking a little bit, and then but by the end of the cruise, like, because we didn't switch seats or nothing, by the end of the cruise, like, we were Facebook friends, and I'm still Facebook friends with them today. We were doing activities after dinner, like we went to the what's that look, Gary? We were going to the loungers. I'm kidding. We were going up to what was it?
Did
The
you have a
piano bar.
pineapple on your door? On your door?
No, we went to the piano bar, and they were doing like the guess the music thing, and they figured out how terrible I am at guess the music stuff. And it was like you had to name the song and the artist, and I don't know. It was like it would play like, you know, Taylor Swift, and I could be like, you know, that was Janet Jackson. and it was Beat It. So I don't know. So I don't have a clue. But yeah. So I got kicked off the team. But just to say that I was seated with we could have went and complained and then got seated somewhere else, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've actually a couple times the free cruise that from that lotto, Mom and I ended up sitting with another couple, and they were from the start they were nice, and we got along. I actually sat with her back whenever it was the past cruiser party instead of the diamond platinum party. Her and I, the wife and I went to that together, and then we went to dinner for then, But yeah, and then we didn't get linked up on your wedding cruise, so Mom and I ended up sitting at a table with with 8 people, 4 different couples, and one of them was a crack addict who got arrested in Key West.
yeah, I remember that.
Gary's face.
Yeah, he's not lying. He is not lying.
Okay.
I ended up changing and like just moving to Trevor's table.
Yeah, because we had people that weren't eating main dining room like at all through the week. They did so to like the first night, and so we were able to move people where they needed to be. But
Okay, so another hack, and then this is, I don't know, you're just going to be lucky if you listen to this.
oh my god, oh my god,
because it's not going to go in the title. We can't call this, but here's the deal. Both of you mentioned, and you said it specifically, what was the commonality of both of your experiences? It was what? It was timed dining, right? It was either early dining or late dining. Your
Mhm.
time dining
I know where you're going.
eliminates all of that.
Yeah.
Now, so if you do not even want to have a chance of seeing and meeting new people and only being at your table with you and either your significant other or the 3 other people you're cruising with, or even up to 10 other people you're cruising with, you can you can go to your time dining, request that in your check-in and get that, and then you can go. Now, the second thing is somebody's going to say, oh, but with your time dining, you don't always get the same server. Yes, you do, if you request that person.
Mhm.
So if
Well,
you sign up, go ahead.
that I have a question about because it, you know, when you check in, it doesn't say, or it just gives you a table number.
Yeah.
So
That's what you get. Okay, so you have to be a little proactive. You've got to go talk to the maitre d, and you've got to let them know I'm requesting this person. And even if you got a table assigned to you, you just
Mhm.
show it to them like, hey, I got a table, but I actually want this person, and they will have no problem.
Yep.
Just boop 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 boop, tables over here, and they will take care of you. You may have to wait a little bit longer, but there may be
5 minutes
yeah.
is all I've ever had. It's not only been 5
Yeah,
minutes for me.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yes.
like not much at all. So I'm serious, because this is the same thing for those of you who haven't done it. If you go to like the brunches, and you've got that little button down there when you select everybody
Yep.
who's gonna
And
go eat, you got the little button that's like, eat, just yourselves or with
check
other,
everybody
or
in. Yep.
or yeah, so it'll let you eat with strangers. And
Mhm.
so because they're just trying to fill up those tables.
And
And
that's for C-Day brunch, morning breakfast type of thing, though. That's
right,
only thing that now I can't say that might be even the same for your time dining at night. But I
it
do
is.
okay, it is on that as well that
Hmm.
I'm willing to be seated at an open table, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I do know that it does that for C-Day brunch. But so going back to it, and then my second part of this is you said that you eat with strangers every night. And that's not the case, right? Because, like you said, Trevor, the very first night you ate with strangers. The
yeah.
second night you were eating with the same people that you ate with on the first night.
That is true. But
So
if you were on your time dining, it could be. I don't
still,
mean to blow your
it won't because on your time dining you can sit there and select, do not seat me with anybody else.
I know. But you could just roll the dice and I want to meet everybody.
Now that is an option if you do want to eat. So myth is not necessarily busted because if you did want to
There
eat with strangers
let's
every
say
night,
what was the middle of the road on Mythbusters? Plausible?
plausible. Yeah.
plausible.
Plausible. I don't
We
think
gotta
it's
stop saying
one
that
way or the
word
other.
because that might be copyrighted or something. They might come after us.
Nah,
No,
Yank.
I
plausible's an
doubt it.
actual word. They're not going to
No, I'm
copyright
just
it.
saying I'm not
He's
saying
saying
that word.
Mythbusters.
Yeah, I'm
He
saying
wants me to stop saying Mythbusters.
the good
Oh,
thing is
So,
I know a guy that 6 degrees of separation. I
mhm.
know a guy who's good friends with Jamie.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
nice.
yeah, but yeah.
They taught a class at the Omniplex once. That was the coolest thing I got to see up there besides Jane Goodall. So,
Jane
Mother
Goodall.
Nature? Mother
yeah,
Nature.
yeah, yeah.
I just found out that was her nickname. I was like, "What?" I was like, "That was so cool to me to know that they've nicknamed her Mother Nature now."
It's too
So,
funny.
or Mother Earth, or I think it was Mother Nature is what they nicknamed her. I can't remember. Let me look it up now.
But
But well,
well,
that's it. So yeah, go
we've
ahead.
gotten through all 5 myths, and yeah, that's crazy. So let us know what you think. If you think that we've got something completely wrong, or if you whatever, or if you
Here's a bonus
agree.
myth. Here's a bonus myth.
Hmm.
Every cruise is going to end like Titanic.
Wow, that's yeah,
That's
that's
the excuse that everyone gives whenever they're like, I don't want to go on a cruise. I've seen Titanic.
yeah.
There's no icebergs in the Caribbean or
But
in the
there were on
Mexican
my last
Riviera.
cruise. There were a
That's
lot of
because
Alaska.
you were in Alaska.
There are sandbars though.
Yeah, there are.
That is true.
Carnival found that out on their first cruise.
Trevor, it's great to have you back, buddy. Thank you so much for getting well. And I mean, as you've already pre-mentioned, this episode is going to come out on your birthday, June 15th. So
Woo!
happy birthday to you, my friend. Tom and I, we have under the behind the scenes, under the table, behind, on top of the roof, we have come up with a collaboration of a birthday song for you. And I just was going to let Tom do it because, well, he just does it so much better than me.
You're a dick. That was the song.
Oh,
Right
what a terrible song. I thought that was aimed at Gary. Well, thank you guys. That was so sweet. I think make sure you guys go over to our Facebook page and our group. Just search for Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Join the group. Wish me happy birthday. You get some free levels in the cult. There you go. Hey, if you want to leave any kind of message or any kind of topic you want to discuss on the show, why don't you go to our SpeakPipe page and do it there? Leave us a message. We'll talk about what you want to talk about. So there you go. Have a little open forum kind of going on there. We may collect a few of those for the next couple of weeks and maybe put out a special episode on something like that. Last thing I want to throw out is, do we want to possibly let's gauge the interest on possibly doing a live episode at some point in the future. So we've kind of fumbled through them a little bit here or there. If you would like to see us live and actually live, we're going to schedule a day where we'll pop on. It may not be an episode, it may be 30 minutes with the Golden Guys. So there you go. But
So we're guys now, we're not boys.
I don't know.
You said golden guys, so
Golden Guys, Golden Boys, whatever. So if you want to see that, let us know. It could be one of us, all of us. It could be two of us. It could be Reese doing it, none of us. So you never know what you're gonna get. But I'm down for it.
Back. I saw for those of you who aren't friends with Reese, he shaved.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, he did.
It was amazing. He looks fantastic. He looked great.
That sexy devil.
Yeah, we miss you, buddy.
Look right without a beard. He doesn't look right without a beard.
Yeah, I told him that he could use the razor once. Look what he did. Good Lord. Anyways, he said it was for his pits. But
oh god.
Anyway.
So if you have made it this far in the podcast, congratulations. Send a secret post on our Facebook group with #charter_member. And I personally will reach out to you and send you a special something.
What? Oh my god. Charter member. I'm gonna post that. So there you go. Over at Carnival Cruising Podcastaways Facebook group. So there you go. Anyways, thank you guys. Just know that you're unique, you're special, and you're loved.
And remember, anything that happens on the ship stays on YouTube. Bye.
45 days, and I will have a wonderful breakfast burrito in my hands. Adios.
Save the foosball tables. Bye-bye.
See ya.